So the angle between this fork and vertical one, that is called rake angle. Again, on this one probably is over 45 degrees. On this one here is the, I can see it right here, between 17 and 25. Now, if you have more rake angle, what's going to happen? It's going to be hard to steer. Why it's hard to steer? Because the weight of the bike, is going to make it hard to steer the fork if you have a lot of rake angle. How about if you have less rake angle? You have less stability, especially when you are in the freeway. Again, engineers came up with that number, that the rake angle has to be between 17 to 25. So, Ernie, what's your question?
How do you calculate that? How would you be able to calculate that rake?
So you're talking about the design now. We're talking about engineering calculation, right?
Yes.
So there is a formula. There's a formula between the weight and the speed.
You said the weight and the speed?
Yes. So if you have a sport bike, different than if you have a cruiser, different than just a street bike. If you have a bike that's gonna maximum speed is probably 60 miles, different than a bike that has maximum speed 200 miles. So the formula that has the speed term and has the weight of the bike makes a difference as well. Now, are you converting your bike to become what, like a chopper, right?
It is a chopper. I just took off the front end and make it the front end is much longer now. It's one of those sugar bear front ends.
But if you make it more longer, now it's hard to steer now. You gotta keep some resistance when you steer. Because the weight takes the bike down to a point that you cannot turn the fork. So now we're gonna have different feeling now, especially when you turn corners. You're gonna have perfect stability. I mean, you can go on the freeway at 80 miles per hour without even holding the handlebar. Because the weight and that long fork,
yeah,
it's gonna make the steering not probably less steering on its own. So you can ride the bike without even holding the handlebar. Don't do it. I'm just giving you an idea.
right.
So I'm afraid to make it too long to a point that it's gonna be very not fun to steer.
Going slow, maybe going around the curve, but like you say, going straight, it have a different feeling. It's part of steering.
When you steer, you're gonna feel like you put too much force on this handlebar to turn. This in cars they call it caster angle.
But Professor, what's the downside to driving like a chopper? Because this is a chopper, right?
Yeah.
So what's the common problem when it comes to the front fork with choppers? Like
this one maneuvering is very hard to maneuver with this bike.
Okay.
You can't go between cars with this one. But it's kind of heavy.
Mhm.
I mean, for regular rider, it's not fun to ride this bike. Going straight is perfect, but to maneuver right and left, that's the problem. Sometimes when you ride, you want to maneuver on the street, right? So if you
purpose of the chopper though? I never understood it. I know it was like a look, but I never understood the reason they started doing it.
Well, that's more of a cruiser. That's not a speed bike, or should I say that's not like what they call those cross rockets.
Yeah, but he's talking about what is the purpose of having a chopper, like the.
Is it just a style, right? Kind of like a lowrider. It's just the way a certain person.
Yeah, the style.
Yeah, like a certain generation kind of thing.
Yeah, the style it started was in the '70s a lot.
That's kind of cool. I don't know if I can pull that off.
I mean, it looks nice, guys, but the ride is different because of the too much caster or too much. It's almost like what 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's a different ride. That you are absolutely right about. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, not for everybody.
I get the increased rake and the steering, but what do you mean by better stability or less stability? Like you're able to balance it out more? Is that what stability means?
Because of this angle right here, this angle, when you see it, the weight of the bike will make that piece hard to turn.
Would you get speed wobbles with that like front like that? Because I've been on like cruisers before on like the freeway and going 80, like I'm getting like mad speed wobbles.
Yeah, exactly. So when you go on the freeway at 80 miles per hour, can you feel that vibration on the handlebar?
Yeah, I feel the vibration, and then you like feel like the wheel kind of like trying to like turn.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
so that vibration, you don't feel it on this one.
Right. Because it can go really well in a straight. It's like a drag car. It's not meant to turn, but it could go good in a straight line.
No speed wobbles either on that front.
You get most stability.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but you get less maneuverability.
Right.
I mean, on purpose you get both. So
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned
hard
about
to get both.
stability and maneuverability.
Right. That's why there would be more speed wobble on a sports bike because you're getting all that maneuverability to
But
lean
there
and
isn't
turn.
There isn't like any speed wobbles on a sports bike. They're like made to do that. They're like made to go straight and then made to turn like really fast. It's not as comfortable after a while, but I mean, if you want comfort and stability and like all that stuff, just get a naked bike. You know, it's the same frame, just different seating position.
If you like the style, probably gonna suffer when you maneuver. If you like the style, you wanna be different.
No, I don't care. That looks uncomfortable.
You got to ride it. You gotta ride it.
And I want to enjoy it.
That is enjoy it.
It's too much for me.
Okay, guys. So here is the Rake angle, guys. Remember, through vertical, hitting the axle. Remember, you have to hit the axle, and the other line is the one from the head. Here is the head of the frame. Remember that the head of the frame. This piece is called the head of the frame. Not there. Here is a fork. Here is a triple piece right there. Two of them. By the way, guys, if you guys look at the new Goldwing, they don't have this kind of suspension. The new Goldwing doesn't have this kind of suspension. The Goldwing, they have different suspension. They call it Sala. They call it short arm, long arm. They have Sala suspension. Again, I'm talking about in general.
What kind of suspension?
They call it Sala. SALA. So here's the Rake angle, guys. Now, look at this one here. This is second angle. They call it trail angle. So look at the trail angle here, and if you have more Rake angle, now we're gonna have more trail angle. So trail angle is right here. Trail is the distance along the ground between a line down the center line of the steering shaft and the vertical line through the axle center line.